Connections. What are they? You've used connections a million times when coding on Roblox. For instance, using a simple touched event when interacting with a part is an example of a connection. But what exactly is it? So I have Roblox Studio open, and let's create a simple function for when the player clicks a certain part, and let's make it print something. For instance, I have a part in workspace with a click detector, and let's create a script within it. So this clicked event is actually a connection between a function and an event. The function being code we want to run when the part is clicked. For instance, print I have been clicked is our function, with the part representing our event when clicked. This connection keeps our function listening to whenever our event fires. We could also disconnect the connection between the event and the function, and to do so, let's declare a new variable and instantiate it to the event. I'll call mine connection and instantiate it. Now let's call the disconnect method on the connection to stop it from running within our function. And to test, after clicking on it multiple times, it will only run the function once or print once because we have disconnected the function from the event. So let's play. As you can see, I can click on it multiple times, but it will only run once because we have disconnected the connection. But why is this important? Some problems could arise from not properly disconnecting your connections. The most common being forgetting to disconnect them when you're finished with the event, which would lead to memory leaks. So let's test to show an example. If the server were to destroy this part, the connection could still persist in the memory. And similar to a while loop, if you leave it active for a prolonged period of time, it would take up more resources on the player's device and cause them to lag. Okay, so now let's show an example. So in the workspace, I have a few totems, 3 totems in a folder called totems, and they each have a click detector within every model. And I also have a GUI that opens whenever you click on these, and you can select to change their colors in here. And I have a script here, and it runs through every click detector in here and detects whenever the totem is clicked. So when it is clicked, it makes the frame visible, and then it loops through the buttons and their colors, and whenever you click on one of the buttons, the detector's parent changes certain parts of the totem's color. So let's test it out. Make this not visible. So if I were to press on blue, it would turn blue. And if I were to make this one white, it would actually make both of these white. And now if I were to click on this and make it green, it would make all of them green. And now if I were to click on this and make it black, all of them would turn black. But now, why is this? So the reason this is happening is because we are creating new connections to image buttons every time we click on one of these totems. So for instance, if I were to click on totem 1, it would create new connections with the image button and the totem. And if I were to click on totem number 2, it would create new connections, as seen over here, with these buttons. And the same thing with number 3. New connections would be made every time. And since these connections are not disconnected, every totem you press upon will change color corresponding to the others. So how do we fix this? So obviously the way we can fix this is to disconnect the connection. So to begin, let's create a new variable called connections. And since every button event is connected to changing the color of the totem, let's make this mouse button event connected to the image button, the variable. So let's call it connection. And right after we call the mouse click, let's actually use an if statement and check if connections exists. And if it does, let's clear all the connections. So for underscore connections, although connections doesn't exist yet, you can probably tell where I'm about to head here. I will input every connection created into a table. And let's actually make connections to a table really quickly. And now, right after the event or function, we can use a table.insert and input our connection into our connections array of connections. And every time the player clicks on one of the totems, it disconnects every image button from its totem, which will stop it from changing every totem. So let's test it out. So if I were to click on this one, make it blue, and click on this one, make it light blue, make it this one pink, notice how only one of them changes now and not all of them because we disconnected the connections. Before the video ends, I would like to thank everybody for continuing to support my journey on this YouTube channel and just encouraging others and teaching others how to code. I know I don't upload much, but it means a lot to me, you as the viewer, and even my patrons. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.